要是我没有上大学就好了。我是985毕业的，今年应届毕业生，学的是汉语言文学，一直是个待业状态。
China's high youth unemployment rate, where college graduates face joblessness immediately upon graduation, has become a breeding ground for employment scams. According to The Paper, on June 17th, a recent graduate from a university in Lanzhou named Song reported being defrauded of 210,000 yuan, about $29,000 by Qin and Yu, a Lanzhou Fengxi human resources services company, who promised employment assistance. Shortly after the report, on June 21st, the police arrested Qin and Yu and other core members of the operation. The suspects admitted to defrauding Song under the guise of securing a permanent position with a state-owned enterprise. Investigations revealed a highly organized fraud ring with clear hierarchies and numerous victims. Since 2021, the group led by Yu allegedly used fake affiliations with central and state-owned enterprises and government agencies, posting job ads through their self-established human resources firm to deceive individuals with false premises of employment. To evade detection, the suspects hired temporary staff to pose as employees, forged official seals and documents, and conducted training, exams, interviews, and medical checks to make things look more legitimate. Aside from Song, over 400 recent and upcoming graduates from 8 cities in Gansu province, including Lanzhou, Tianshui, and Baiyin, fell victim to this scheme, with losses totaling over 80 million yuan, around $11 million. Many online commentators expressed shock, acknowledging the tough job market, but noting surprise that even securing a job now often comes with a price tag. On May 6, official data reported that the Caixin China Services PMI has slightly dipped to 52.5 in April, while the employment index for the sector contracted for the third consecutive month, reaching its lowest point since the start of the year. This has exacerbated unemployment pressures and heightened deflation risks. According to official data, China's 2024 college graduate cohort is set to reach a record 11.8 million. On October 22nd, China's National Bureau of Statistics reported that the urban youth unemployment rate for those aged 16 to 24, excluding students, was 17.6% in September, down from August's peak of 18.8%, but still the second highest rate this year. A report by Zhao Ping in May found that by mid-April, only 48% of graduates had received informal job offers, a decline from 2023. The percentages of graduates this year taking on delayed employment reached 19%, and freelance work reached 13.7%. Graduates who fail to find jobs often join the ranks of the unemployed, unless they are willing to pay for a position. Investigations reveal that numerous official job postings are allegedly sold through illicit transactions. In February, a viral topic sparked widespread discussion. A Chinese media, Sina, discovered that on social media platforms like Xiaohongshu, many companies pose a consulting service but operate primarily as job brokers. Different positions are openly priced. For example, roles at large private firms like Master Kong are listed in the tens of thousands of yuan. Positions at state-owned enterprises like FAW and Hongqi around 200,000 yuan, roughly $28,000, and some central state-owned positions as high as 450,000 yuan, approximately $62,000. One graduate, Hu Hui from Changchun, who had hoped to become a lecturer at a private university, discovered that a position she failed to secure in the job interview was actually priced at 140,000 yuan, which is around $19,000 on Xiaohongshu. She commented, "Turns out interviews are pointless. What matters is paying." On Xiaohongshu and similar platforms, these human resources companies are widespread. Reports suggest that, under these exploitative practices, stable and reputable jobs are increasingly out of reach for young people. Many returning graduates bluntly state that in some places, good jobs simply aren't available without payment. A representative from a Jilin province-based human resources company told Sina that through their channels, job seekers can secure positions with state-sponsored benefits without even needing to pass an exam. Basic qualifications are required, but they promise job placement if an upfront deposit is paid, followed by the remainder upon successful hiring. Beyond the price tags, what has further disillusioned job seekers is the rise of various fancy job scams. For example, paid referrals have trapped many graduates with misleading offers. So what happens is that during peak recruiting seasons in March and April, many job seekers post requests and share experiences on social platforms. However, these posts often attract comments from individuals or companies offering so-called guaranteed state-owned enterprise placements or consultants for jobs in hukou, meaning household registration. These are all hinting at non-standard channels for securing positions. Most of these companies refuse to disclose information about job positions or contracts online, instead requiring candidates to submit resumes and attend in-person consultations. How do these paid referrals work, and what are the hidden tricks? To find out, a Chinese journalist posing as a fresh graduate reached out to several recruitment agencies. In mid-March, after contacting a salesperson from a company claiming to be a human resources firm in Beijing, the journalist visited their office. In a conference room, the promotional materials provided listed the company as an education technology company. When asked about employment and household registration solutions, the company proposed two options, one for both job placement and household registration with a state-owned enterprise within 1.5 years, and another for household registration only, without requiring actual employment. In China, household registration is inherited from one's parents and can only be moved based on certain criteria such as income, education, and property ownership. The company manager, Li, explained that applicants would need to transfer funds monthly, which the company would deduct for Social Security before returning it back to them as salary, facilitating a quicker path to household registration. Service fees range from 900,000 to 1.2 million yuan, payable in installments. A 50% deposit was required up front, with additional payments at each stage, and a final payment once the registration was secured. Li said that if the application fails, they'll refund all the money. However, if the applicant wants to pull out in the middle of the process, no refunds will be made. Li claimed a close relationship with board members of several state-owned enterprises, allowing the company to bypass online applications and exams, guaranteeing success. For private companies, they could use a talent introduction channel, with Li confidently stating that the company could craft a special skills profile. Li also advised the journalist to remember who helped you get a good job once settled. However, the journalist noticed inconsistencies in details across conversations. While some agents claimed that online applications and exams depended on individual effort, others assured a guaranteed pass. Some promised access to 30% of the exam questions, while others claimed as much as 70%. It became clear that these agencies were essentially brokers selling employment and household registration quotas, with price tags often in the hundreds of thousands of yuan. In addition to the paid referrals, there are also numerous ads for one-on-one job coaching online, which have misled many recent graduates. In 2023, Lu Ruina, who was looking for a marketing position in Shanghai, contacted an agency that claimed to offer end-to-end job search solutions. The salesperson told Lu that by paying a 498 yuan membership fee, she could access 6 months of job search support, including interview skills classes, resume improvement workshops, and targeted job recommendations. Upon signing a job contract through the agency, she would also be required to pay an additional 75% of her first month's pre-tax salary. The salesperson showcased multiple success stories, assuring Lu of their connections with top companies. After paying, a job coach from the agency reached out to Lu, requesting her resume for one-on-one review. The coach promised that once revised, her resume would be sent directly to suitable employers. Initially hopeful, Lu was soon disappointed. When she received a revised resume, she found only minor formatting adjustments, with no substantial changes. In the first 2 weeks after paying, the agency suggested a few positions, but most were either poorly matched with her skills or required prior experience. After multiple unsuccessful attempts, Lu requested better matched positions, but the coach became distant and eventually stopped responding altogether. Lu's case was not unique. Another recent graduate, Dao Le, from a Shanghai university, had a similar disappointing experience with an unreliable job coach. In 2023, after spending tens of thousands of yuan on a company's one-on-one job coaching service, recent graduate Dao Le found that his mentor did not fulfill the promises advertised, such as providing high-paying job recommendations in the legal sector. Instead, the mentor merely shared generic job listings from various companies on social media to enhance his own credibility. Dao noted that the company's promises of internal referral channels and direct resume submissions to HR were slower and less effective than his own efforts on job recruitment apps. Now employed, both Lu Ruina and Dao have requested refunds for the one-on-one job coaching services they purchased. However, both companies denied the requests, citing so-called contract fulfillment. Despite the glaring issues with these advertisements, cases of students falling victim to these scams are on the rise, highlighting the difficulties faced by Chinese college graduates. Economic downturn is widely seen as a key reason behind this trend. Experts suggest that China is facing a significant reduction in high-end job opportunities. In recent years, China's collaborations with Western countries have declined as foreign companies exit the Chinese market. Previously, many of China's highly skilled professionals found work in these multinational firms, but now they find themselves with few options. Combined with China's own limited research and development in advanced industries, the loss of Western partnerships has further hindered progress. Professor Chen Ping-cheng from National Yulin University of Science and Technology in Taiwan adds that China's manufacturing sector is vast, but mostly concentrated in low and mid-level jobs that require vocational skills. However, many young people are unwilling to enter these fields, making it difficult for traditional industries to upgrade and find suitable talent. Consequently, more highly skilled workers are left with limited paths forward, often resorting to graduate studies. Wu Sekze, a consultant for a Taiwanese think tank, argues that this approach only postpones the problem without resolving it, which may lead to an accumulation of issues that become more complex over time. So far, Beijing has not offered many solutions to address this issue. During the China Chief Economist Forum in early August, Li Zhang, chief economist at China Merchants Fund Research, suggested that the government could ease job pressures on college graduates by offering job subsidies. However, the CCP rejects this idea, viewing it as a Western welfare model that fosters laziness. Yet at the China-Africa Cooperation Forum in Beijing in early September, China's leader Xi Jinping pledged 360 billion yuan, about $50.7 billion US dollars, over 3 years to support Africa, aiming to create at least 1 million jobs there. Faced with a tough job market, more young Chinese are lying flat, a slang for young people giving up on life ambitions, while others are turning to temples to pray for a change in fortune, giving rise to the phenomenon of seeking help from deities, not the government. Songs like "I Kneel in the Temple of Fortune" and "Seeking a Lucky Draw" have become popular on social media. Political commentator Li Yinyi remarked that the popularity of such lying flat songs could be a worrying sign for the CCP, as they subtly influence people's thinking. As more individuals embrace this mindset, it may foster a form of soft resistance, where citizens no longer heed CCP directives, but instead follow the sentiment expressed in these songs. This could potentially become a source of social instability. A report from the China Macroeconomic Forum, a think tank in Renmin University, presents an even bleaker outlook, suggesting that youth unemployment may remain unresolved for a decade, possibly impacting national leadership. The report warns that if mismanaged, the issue could extend beyond economic troubles, potentially sparking social and political unrest. Mr. Zhang, a Chinese current affairs commentator, draws historical parallels, noting that many empires fell due to fiscal issues. He believes that while young people may not yet oppose the CCP outright, gaps in social security due to unemployment and low wages will continue to worsen, potentially fueling dissatisfaction with the government. Ultimately, unemployed youth could become a driving force behind the CCP's downfall.